We're still welcoming them back.
It's the beginning of the video, Dom, so we must.
But is it live?
We are not live.
Welcome back to our live feed.
Not live!
I'm Chef Dom.
You know it's not live!
Today we're making macaroni pie, a Neapolitan delicacy. Infused, of course. And I'm going to show you how. Just don't tell Grandma I told you.
Don't tell Grandma.
It's like my basketball coach would say, don't tell your mom we're doing this. It's very similar to that kind of.
Oh, boy!
So,
maybe we want to unpack that in therapy instead of live in front of all these people.
we are live! Son of a... Betrayal is not just a river in Egypt, Evan. We've got our water boiling. We've got our bronze-dyed pasta. This is spaghetti. We want to do that for 9 minutes or so. The orso is very important. That's the last place I expect. I've used that before.
Have you?
All right, I want to lower this heat just a tiny bit. Spaghetti is actually the first kind of pasta invented.
Who invented spaghetti, Dom?
Spaghetti was invented in Palermo in Sicily. It's the first place it kind of pops up as like the 1100s. It's back when the Normans were in charge there, the kingly Normans. And Naples was the capital of the Norman Empire. And in Sicily, they were making this dried durum wheat, what we would come to know as pasta. It didn't really get that name until like the 1800s. Pasta just means paste in Italian. They used to call it macaroni. That was the name. So all pasta was just macaroni. Their nickname was Mangia Macaroni, macaroni eaters. They were like the only place in the world that had this dried durum factory, this big fucking factory. This macaroni pie is a Neapolitan kind of specialty because they used to eat spaghetti with their bare hands. And kings and queens would come down and they would like go to the opera house and eat spaghetti with their bare hands to show that they were a man of the people or a woman of the people, a common folk, you know, just to ingratiate themselves. But on like special festivals and carnivals, they would bake the spaghetti into a pie so they could eat it with their hands and not look like fucking mongrels. So that's where this pie comes from. It's from Naples, and it's made for royalty, which is why we know how to make it.
You are a royal pain in the ass.
I am.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
I am. You want to know about the cholera outbreaks in the 1800s?
Make the recipe.
Do you want to know about the margarita pizza? They had so much cholera in southern Italy because of the hygiene and their living conditions that nobody would eat this food. It had to go through like a whole rebranding phase, which is like the pizza napolitano, the really thin pizza, or this pasta. Nobody would eat it because they thought it was like associated with disease and peasantry. So Queen Margherita comes down just to show that it's safe to eat their food, and she eats this pie that they make for her. And that's why we call it a margherita pizza. Named after the queen. You want to give me a standing ovation, I won't stop you.
When you earn one, you'll get one.
I think I've earned one.
That's the problem.
You know what? I'm starting to get recognized out in public. I got recognized at the gym the other day, and the guy comes up to me like, he's like, "You're the guy that fell off the treadmill last week, aren't you?" You'd be a macaroni eater with me, Evan?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. So we're going to finish this till it's nice and al dente, then drain the fucker, and then we can come back. While your spaghetti is still hot, we're going to add a couple things. We're going to add our cactus butter. We're going to add some regular butter. And we're also going to add some pork fat, because when pasta was first consumed, it was consumed with pork fat, not any sort of tomato sauce or pesto. That doesn't come around until the late 1800s. So in true original form, you got some butter. We got some pork fat, and we want to just give this a mix. We don't want the noodles to stick together. This recipe is going to make 2 pies. It's going to have 240 military grandmas in it. It is probably going to cut up to about 16 pieces or so. And then you just cut it and, you know, eat it from there. We're going to wait for this pasta to cool, and then we're going to add our cheeses and eggs to it. Jesus. I felt it as it was coming out. Sheesh.
Be gone, demon!
Oof. Cheeses and eggs. Bacon and legs. We'll see you soon. Our pasta has been buttered and cooled. Now we're going to add our eggs, our cheeses, our meats. Got 5 eggs here. Nice. Some fresh ricotta. We got some Parmesan, and we got some pecorino romano.
Aren't those the same cheeses?
They are not the same cheeses.
You sure about that?
Parmesan comes from cow's milk. It's aged about 3 or 4 years. It's a lot sweeter and delicate. The pecorino is much more robust. It comes from sheep's milk. It goes kind of more like has a nice bite to it, so it goes on top of things really well. I use it with my meatballs, my meat sauce. I use Parmesan when I'm making Alfredo. I want like a nice little sweet addition to my dish. And another fun fact is the rind on the Parmesan is actually delicious. You could use it to put inside your sauces for flavor, but the rind on the Pecorino Romano is actually wax and it is useless. So if you're asking for the rind on the Pecorino, you're just having wax.
Don't eat wax, you stupid bastards.
Go in with a nice bit of salt, some pep. We're gonna be able to try these noodles before they go in, so we know, but we want, say you could see a little egg yolk. We don't want to be able to see any of that yolk. You want a nice mix. All right, let's eat some like a peasant really quick and taste it.
Like an animal.
Like the lazzaroni.
Oh, so Italian.
Oh, whew. We're gonna go in with some cubed mutts and we put a little salami. Give this one last mix. My grandma doesn't usually make them with any cheese or meat inside because she likes to be very traditional. Also, the farmers were basically poor. They did not have meat and cheese to just be tossing around in their macaroni pies for when the kings and queens come.
Goddamn aristocrat.
I like using these little pans instead of a Pyrex. They're really easy to work with. You could spray the butter in all the nooks and crannies, and then I could either clean it up or throw it away, depending on how many micro gremlins I've eaten that day. So these are my go-to. Make sure you use spray butter. You need to get every crevice in here. So we're gonna go half and half. We got our oven set to 400 degrees. Now these instructions are important. Evan, silence. Put your fucking shirt back on.
I like to be naked.
What you wanna do is cook this for 35 minutes at 400 degrees. Then you want to broil it for 10 minutes at 400 degrees. And then you want to flip it over and broil the bottom for another 10 minutes. You get like a nice, you'll see. You'll see. Now we got a little breadcrumb here. Just gonna sprinkle over the top. Not much, very light. Get this in the oven. We will see you later.
Yeah, that's fine. It's not live.
We'll see you now. Sorry I gave everyone your recipe, but man, this is phenomenal.
Can't even say, and we've done it.
And we've done it. There's about 120 merchant gorillas in each one of these pies. So we cut them in 4. That's 30 a piece. Love that for me.
Love it.
Half of this, take a nap. It's only a quarter pound of pasta.
It's only a quarter pound of pasta in both those pies?
No, it's a whole pound, but if I eat half of one, it's only a quarter pound. And I understand that saying eating only a quarter pound of pasta, but using the word only makes it seem like it's a small amount.
Can I munch your pie?
Yeah, come eat my pie. This is a special occasion.
What's so special about it?
I made this pie. I told you this pie is only for special occasions, for Southern Italian, for Neapolitan royalty.
So just because you made the pie, now it's special occasion. That there was no special occasion before the pie.
If we're living in a world where I get to create my own religion,
We're not.
you sure?
Yeah. Don't worship this man.
Don't you dare do it. You might like it. You
So how
might enjoy the man you or woman you become.
How many Maverick gnomes did you put in this piece?
This tiny piece?
This tiny piece.
Probably about 5.
5 in the piece. Can I eat it?
Yeah, maybe it's 10.
I'm gonna eat it.
Could be 30.
I'm still eating it.
Wow.
What a menagerie of flavor.
Ooh, that's right. Oh, it's nice and herbal.
Love that.
Yeah.
Really taste the herb here.
Yeah. Really, really.
Happening. I like the crunch. A little bit of
I like cactus. Good texture. Through and through. Up and down.
juicy
Wow.
falling out of my mouth.
Got a little bit of bacon fat in there. Wow.
You do put bacon fat in stuff pretty often.
We are what we eat. You know?
Bacon fat and shame.
So know your food. Know yourself. That's how it goes.
That's science, baby. That's science.
Make your food from scratch. Use quality ingredients. Don't buy things from places like Walmart.
Oh, fuck you, Jeff Bezos.
Yeah. And the Waldens too. Go fuck them both.
All right, me and my pie.
This is in fact what the Mediterranean diet was supposed to be. The Mediterranean diet is a sham. It was created in the 1950s by a scientist that wrote a study on how bread and meat were bad for your heart and your cholesterol. At the same time, him and his wife was coming out with a cookbook. So they coined the phrase Mediterranean diet in order to sell cookbooks based on on the back of their scientific experiment. So we've been scaring Americans and making people buy our stuff for commercial gains for a long, long time, and it's not stopping anytime soon. A lot of Italian culture is actually American lies, from Marco Polo, big pasta, to Mediterranean diet. It's all a sham. But if you want to feel like a real peasant on a kingly day, this is the pie for you. Infuse it.
Are you gonna end the video or?
Well, I got to tell them where to go. Do they know where to
Send them to the bell.
Go to the bell?
And elsewhere.
When you get to the bell, ask for Hank.
Hank is not working here anymore. We let him go.
He's gone.
Gotta be Phil now.
Guys, Hank is gone. Ask for Phil. He'll direct you to our Patreon for a very low, affordable price. It's almost basically free. You could watch us do other shenanigans, and those shenanigans are approved by both of us. We approve of our shenanigans.
Not really, but we're doing it.
We'll see you next week. You're my favorite peasants. Always, always, always. Oh, that's so good.
Ring the bell.
Always ring the bell. There we go. That's a good non-sequitur. See you next week.